Fishing the Dream is proudly powered to you by Battery World, keeping you switched on. BLA, The Tackle Shop Castledine, AU For Real Charters, Fish Head, Wilson Fishing, Moreton Bay Charters and Big Cat Charters. On this week's episode of Fishing the Dream, we head out with Duncan from Fish Head on a squidding adventure around the northern end of beautiful Moreton Bay. We try out the ink fader from Shore Catch, and I get some expert advice from Duncan and find out why he is a true tackle expert. I find myself an expert at getting snagged, and as per usual, Nigel pulls in a cracker. And there are plenty of locals that want to say hello. If you haven't fished southeast Queensland, come with Nigel and I on our fishing adventure as we go fishing the dream. Fishing the dream, let's all go and fish the dream. When life gets too tough, you think you've had enough. Grab your mates and let's all fish the dream. Fishing the dream, fishing the dream, let's all go and fish the dream. G'day and welcome to this week's episode of Fishing the Dream. I'm here with Duncan from Fish Head. Duncan, tell us what we're fishing for today.
Well, we're chasing some snapper this morning, using soft plastics, light spinning tackle, working our way around the southern Bay Islands of Moreton Bay, casting in the shallows, hopping plastics along, get some snapper, maybe a few other bits and pieces as bycatch. Then once the tide starts to rise and move in on the islands, then we'll go and chase some squid, because they love that shallow water around the islands at this time of year.
And rods and reels, what rods and reels will we be using today?
Light spinning tackle, so we've got 2.5 to 3,000 size reels using some nice Daiwa reels, and beautiful lightweight tackle, stuff that you can easily fish with for long sessions, and it's got plenty of power and reserve when you do hook into a big fish.
And tell us a bit about your website.
The website's been going for a while now. It's one of the most popular parts of our store now, growing quite fast. And fishhead.com.au is the place, and lots and lots of gear on there. Also, we've got videos and the Tight Line magazine, which is an online magazine that we run as well. So plenty of stuff on there to have a look at.
Excellent. Well, we better get out there amongst the water and get out there for a fish.
Sounds good.
Know your rod. Hey God, how are you?
Good, Fraser, how are you?
Excellent.
Good, so we're squid fishing around the islands.
Yes, we're squid fishing today.
All right, I got the rod for you.
Excellent.
All right, Fraser, so you today are going to go out squid fishing.
Squid fishing.
So yet again, we need to choose a rod that's designed for spinning reels. Now we're lucky on today's market, there's rods designed especially for catching squid. So you can walk in and say, oh, I want a squid rod, but I think we go through for the people what makes it the perfect thing, like what makes a squid rod work for you if you want to go out and chase these wonderful tasting calamaris.
Absolutely.
All right, so we've got one here. First thing you'll notice is that the rear end of the rod is split. All right, so that's to give us the length. So we need a longer butt on this rod. And if we were to fill all of that with EVA, it'd weigh more. So to make this lightweight and more enjoyable, it's a very finesse thing, catching squid.
Yep.
So they don't fight that hard, so people tend to enjoy the other aspects of it. And you'll see that there, that's quite long, and they've put a gap in there. That's important, keeps the rod light for us, all right? EVA material for the grip, okay? So it's a little spongier, a little softer. We don't need that full-on bite detection because the calamari just comes up and gently grabs the squid jig, and there's a weight on the rod, so it's all about suppleness when we're fishing for squid. We don't go pulling hard because you rip the lures out of their mouth, and as we know, the lures don't actually have barbs on them like traditional lures, so it's all about soft.
Yep.
All right, and that, we'll talk about that a little further down the line with the blank. Next thing you'll notice is the runners. They look quite different, you know, similar to our soft plastic rods but different. Because with squid fishing we're more about control of the lure than we are about casting distance of that squid jig. The whole idea is to make it look like an injured bait fish or a prawn. It's very much about how you deliver it. You'll see that that guide is quite smaller than some of the other ones we've looked at, and you'll see that it's closer to the blank. You also see we've got those smaller guides at the tip there. That gives us total control of that squid jig, and you'll find that it's very much about moving it in the water realistically. So we need this rod here to control that lure the best we can. Next thing you'll notice, it's a fairly stiff rod, all right?
Yep.
So it's carbon. Obviously we're putting action into a lure. We spoke about this in our other segments, that it's important to choose the right material. For this, a full carbon rod is the only way to go in the blank department. Also, the action of a squid rod is very important too, because the calamari has such, its tentacles are very, you know, soft and can easily tear. We need or even though it's carbon, it's a stiff material, it needs to have a softer action. And we'll notice that when we load this rod up, it loads through the middle section. Okay, so when the weight comes on, it's not all getting pulled on at once, so we tear those fine wire hooks of the squid jig out. So it's very much a finesse style thing, squid fishing, and great fun and a feed at the end of the day. And choose the right rod really makes you enjoy it more, so I bet you're going to have fun.
Well, hopefully I can get out there and get myself onto a couple.
I have no doubt you will.
Well, thanks very much, Cord.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Well, another fantastic morning in southeast Queensland. The sun is just about to pop over north-south Stradbroke Island as Duncan from Fishhead takes us over the artificial reef, hoping to land some snapper.
We're just coming up onto our marks now here, so what we want to do is cast ahead of the boat. Cast out as a reasonably long cast, and then just flip your bail over, let it sink down, and hopefully the fish will grab it on the drop. But if not, after 10 or 15 seconds, once it hits bottom, then we give a few long, slow hops across the bottom just to get it lifting up. And the snapper really love to eat it as it's sinking back down to the bottom. So, yeah, we're just coming up on these marks here now, so hopefully there's a couple of snapper in wait for us.
Let's give it a run.
Oh yes, that's a bite. Just a little one to start with. I don't think we're going to win any prizes on this fish. But, as usually happens, I was doing something else, getting ready to adjust the electric, and the fish grabbed it when I was not really paying too much attention. I don't mind doing that. This one's putting up a little bit of a scrap, but only a little tacker.
Was that on the drop, Duncan, or?
I think it was just drifting along at that stage. It was probably pretty close to the bottom, and yeah, he grabbed it just as it was sliding along the bottom there. Lovely little fish, really inhaled the plastic. There we go. Little zoom plastic that did the job. Really good imitation of a small hardy head or a whitebait. One of the very common foods for snapper around here. So yeah, lovely little fish. You can go back for next time. Gone.
Yep. Let's grab that on the drop.
Pretty hungry little fish, that one.
Very hungry.
Yeah.
Nothing overly too big, but fun all the same.
Yeah, they all hit hard, the snapper. They don't muck about. I think because they've got they haven't got a huge mouth, but they've got a very powerful jaws, so their way of feeding is to dive in and really hit it as hard as they can to squash them.
Quite as big as the one that you caught earlier. He's definitely grabbed that plastic. Well hooked in the corner of the mouth. Not down there. What colour was that one, Duncan?
That's a watermelon, that one. That's the early morning special, the darker colour.
Pinned in the corner of the mouth there. Big bony mouth from the old snapper. Little teeth there on the front as well. Very level looking fish. I'm getting back in the water.
We'll be right back.
Slightly darker colour, just gives it a good silhouette in the water as it sinks down. So yeah, that's a big one to go for.
How to rig it up there, Duncan.
Okay, with these worm hooks, what we want to do is have the nose of the plastic up the top of the hook, and then the hook comes out through the belly and goes back through again at the bottom end of the plastic. So to begin with, The hook goes in through the nose and back out under the chin. And it feeds up and around onto the hook. Then from there we work out the point where we want the hook to come back through. Poke that through. And there we are, it lays on nicely. And that makes it very snag proof because the hook sits down in the plastic there, but when a fish bites, it pushes the plastic out the way and exposes the hook. And then that articulated snake head there just gives it a little bit more wiggle than a conventional plastic too, or conventional hook.
It was time to relocate, and Nigel does some handy work on the camera as I try to land a few snapper.
Give this another couple of minutes and then we'll keep on shuffling on down the road.
Just got a nibble then.
Bit of a nibble.
As you were saying that. Yes.
Ah, we have a fish.
I don't feel like a big one, but definitely got one.
We're doing a good job of catching all the small ones this morning.
So, I just come back for that second bite and she was on. Ooh.
So what have you got?
Little snapper.
Pink, another snapper. Okay, just swing it up this way. That's the way.
There you go. Well, I definitely baited it up okay because he took it. Right through the lip.
This little one's got some nice spines underneath the belly there, so yeah, you know all about it at the end of the day when you've taken a few of these guys off the hook. So yeah, lovely little fish, beautiful little blue dots on them. Definitely one of the prettiest fish in the ocean, I think.
And good fun to catch too.
Yes, and you can see how that plastic has hooked him right in the corner of the jaw there. Really secure hook up. No chance of that coming off. So I'll just push that hook back out. Out you come. We're done.
Excellent.
And this fellow can go back to grow a bit bigger.
Catch him next time. See you, buddy. Alrighty. On the board.
Everyone scored. Now we just got to raise the bar a little bit.
Yeah, we've got to get some bit more of a size.
Okay, move down to my reef edge that we're heading to before.
Yep.
We got a bit distracted.
Duncan and Nigel scout out the reef edge, hoping to pick up something on the sounder. Duncan found a couple of specks and thought it was worthwhile trying out.
Little.
That may take the cake for the smallest fish of the day.
Not much bigger than the plastic.
That's always a good start.
See how effective the plastics are, even on the little fish. As you can see, the bait fish that I'm feeding on, much longer than the plastic. Get them back in the water. Another one for the bag.
As the tide changed, it was time to go squidding.
So what you're doing is just letting it sink down a little way.
Yep.
And because there's a bit of weed on the bottom here, we don't want it to sit for too long on the bottom, otherwise the prongs will just catch the weed. But you let it sink down and then give it a couple of flicks and hops. Some guys go for the really big, aggressive one. Other people just go for the little twitch. And
Like a prawn.
other people, yeah. If you, the big hop is more like a prawn jumping. The little twitch gets the jig zigzagging through the water like a darting fish.
Yep.
And still other people just do the slow and steady wind, which I don't think is as effective as the hop and drop action, but definitely still does have its have its uses. Oh, come on, take it. Take it properly. You know you want it. Got him. Big puff of ink. So, oh, he's been good. He's letting out all his ink nice and quickly so that when we bring him in, oh, it's very inky, this one.
Do you want your net there at all, Duncan? Or?
Yeah, I'll put him in the net. I'll show you how I normally deal with the squid. So if you wouldn't mind just sliding the net out, just sit there in the water. Now this squid just came in on its own. I didn't see any others following it, but usually we get, you see 2 or 3 squid come at once. So when you hook up on one squid, a great idea is to toss the squid jig in right behind the first squid that you've hooked to pick up his mates. Now if you just slip the net in behind him, he'll probably try and jet away, but he'll just jet into the net. Oh, no.
Going deep again.
That's,
he's got some ink on him.
That's an awful lot of ink in that one. Okay, he should be good now. Just grab that jig out. The ink is actually quite sticky. It's almost like snot and ink mixed together. Lovely stuff, sticks to everything. It'll come off your boat or your hands or whatever quite quickly if you just wipe it off straight away when it gets in the boat. So it's best off cleaning your boat as you go along rather than waiting to the end of the day when everything's dried and gone hard and horrible and trying to scrub it off later. So we'll just toss that jig out the way. Now squid here, nice little squid. That makes some really nice calamari rings out of that one. Oh, bless you. Now they run on, they've got a little jet underneath there. That jet is what propels them along when they want to move quickly, and that's also where the ink comes out of. So I think we've pretty much exhausted the ink on this fellow. Beautiful little creatures, able to change colour at will, and really aggressive little predators. What we normally do with these, this one's really inked well now, but I normally put them in the net first, and then while they're in the net, I'll give them a bit of a shake in the net there just to encourage them, if they're going to ink any further, to do it while they're out on the water before it comes into the boat. And then also give the net a bit of a shake there to get some of the ink out.
Is there any size limits, bag limits for squid at all, Duncan?
Not in Queensland. There are in other states, but at this stage not in Queensland.
Don't go away, we'll be right back squidding the dream.
Okay, up in this corner here, just in front of the mangroves,
Yep.
where the rocks come out, there's a little sort of shallow flat bit there. There should be one lurking in there. There he is.
Yes.
Nice one. Oh, lots of ink. Yes, keep squirting out that ink. Does he have any friends?
I don't know. I thought I had to hit the bottom then. I was just like, oh,
Yeah,
no,
I saw you give it a
again.
good hard whack, but the squid wanted it pretty badly.
You got it. That's my first squid I've ever caught.
Congratulations, I probably better get the net for you. Oh, there is another squid there though.
Oh, we better wait to get that squid.
Oh. Right, yeah, there he is. See them all coming in here?
Yep.
Bit timid. There he is.
Whoa. There you go, he's not happy. Hey.
Quite a performer, that little fella. Well, you got the big one, I got the little tacker.
There you go.
Often it's the other way around. Often the little one will be the most aggressive and will go first, and then the little ones, the little ones go first, and then the big one hangs back, and you pick them up second. We should probably put that in the net before it gets away.
Yep.
We wouldn't want to have your first squid
off the hook.
Off you go. He will shoot off probably when he sees the net, or not. That's a nice sized one. I think we ought to get a photo of that.
Awesome. So there you have it. That's That's my first squid.
Started with a really good one.
Put it that way, you know. If you're gonna do something right.
Set the bench like frozen.
Yep, well, looks like I'll have to get you on a squid now, hey there, Nigel?
You're just fishing the dream.
Fishing the dream, mate, fishing the dream. First squid, very nice.
Now it was time for Nigel to land a squid. After dropping a few, he wasn't keen to miss any more.
Good size squid. I've definitely sorted the setting of the hooks out at the moment. It's going a little bit too light on them
Yeah, you gotta,
earlier. But you did the honours there, Fraser.
as always. Grab it, mate. There we go. Good size squid.
Wow, I just smashed my PB then.
Might need
Spin him around so we can.
Oop, she just farted on me. Get here, buddy. And Duncan pointed you in the right direction on that one. He said that's where you want to be.
Definitely pointed me in the right direction.
And
Again, Fraser, it's all about local knowledge, using the people that fish the area with the right gear.
yep, that's exactly right.
Okay, Duncan, that's been another cracking day out in the water. We've caught some quality squid, a couple of small ones earlier, and yeah, we've topped off the day with this absolute giant gumboot of a squid.
Yeah, big beast that one. That's a lovely squid for Moreton Bay. So yeah, you can be really proud of that one.
I'd like to thank you for the day, for myself and Fraser. We've had a brilliant day out in the water. A couple of small snapper early this morning, and yeah, just a solid squid session this afternoon. And, yeah, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, it's been a lovely day and a fantastic day for it too. Great day to be out on the water.
A little bit chilly this morning, but the sun's got up and warmed it up just nicely.
Made it all worthwhile.
Definitely. And how do we find you, Duncan, with Fishhead?
You can either drop in and see us at Fishhead at the Victoria Point Town Centre, or find us online at fishhead.com.au, which is one of the easiest ways to get hold of us wherever you are.
It's proven again to use local tackle shops for the area that we're fishing in. Knowledge obviously comes with that, and yeah, you get put onto the fish. See you next week on Fishing the Dream.
I call it the kamikaze technique. It's not an air night, I'll tell you that much. Just a little, oh, I don't want to leave it out too long because my squid will hit the bottom and then, I didn't know you were rolling.
Done a good job on that one.
Thanks. But now you're on camera, hopefully I can make it look like you did.
Probably been responsible for breaking a whole lot of rods over the years, so I don't necessarily recommend this.
So don't do this at home.
Fishing the Dream is proudly powered to you by Battery World, keeping you switched on. BLA, the Tackle Shop Castledine, AU For Real Charters, Fishhead, Wilson Fishing, Moreton Bay Charters and Big Cat Charters.